Welcome to a club for people who love good movies. Use the links in the description to navigate the list of films quickly.
A Clockwork Orange. In an inlet of the future, Alex and his droogs spend their nights head in hand at the Crow Milk Bar before embracing a little of the old ultraviolence, while jauntily warbling Sanjin and the Rain. After his jail for bludgeoning the cat lady to death, Alex submits to behavior modification technique to earn his freedom. He's conditioned to abhor violence. Returning to the world defenseless, Alex becomes the victim of his prior victims. Funny games. When Anne, husband George, and son Georgie arrive at their holiday home, they are visited by a pair of polite and seemingly pleasant young men. Armed with deceptively sweet smiles and some golf clubs, they proceed to terrorize and torture the tight-knit clan, giving them until the next day to survive.
The Crazies. Four friends find themselves trapped into the small hometown after they discover their friends and neighbors going quickly and horrifically insane.
Mad Max Fury Road. Years after the collapse of civilization, the tyrannical mortal Joe enslaves apocalypse survivors inside the desert fortress, the Citadel. When the warrior Imperator Furiosa leads the deposed five wives in a daring escape, she forgets an alliance with Mac Rocktansty, a longer former captive. Force-filled from the massive armored truck, the War Rig, they try to outrun the restless warlord and his henchmen in a deadly high-speed chase through the wasteland. The Maze Runner. Thomas, a teenager, arrives in a glade at the center of a giant labyrinth. Like the other youth dumped there before him, he has no memory of his previous life. Thomas quickly becomes part of the group and soon after demonstrates a unique perspective that scores him as promotion or honor status. Those who patrol the always changing maze to find an escape road. Together with Tessa, the only female, Thomas tries to convince his cohorts that he knows a way out.
Gravity. Dr. Ryan Stone is a medical engineer on her first shuttle mission. Her commander is veteran astronaut Matt Kowalski, helming his last flight before retirement. Then, during a routine spacewalk by the pair, disaster strikes. The shuttle is destroyed, leaving Ryan and Matt stranded in deep space with no link to Earth and no hope of rescue. As fear turns to panic, they realize that the only way home may be to venture further into space.
The Martian. When astronauts blast off from the planet Mars, they leave behind Mark Watney, presumed dead after a first storm. With only a manageable amount of supplies, the stranded visitor must utilize his wits and spirit to find a way to survive on the hostile planet.
The Island. In 2019, a mercenary pursues two clones who escaped from a research facility after learning their true fate.
From Dusk Till Dawn. After a bank heist in Emblem with several casualties, the bank robber Seth Gecko and his psychopath and rapist brother Richard Gecko continue their crime spree in a convenience store in the middle of the desert. While heading to Mexico with a hostage, they decide to stop for a while in a low-budget motel. Meanwhile, the former minister Jacob Fuller is traveling on vacation with his son Scott and his daughter Kate in an RV. Jacob lost his face after the death of his beloved wife in a car accident and quit his position of a pastor of his community and stopped for the night in the same motel Thad and Rachel are lodged. When Thad sees the recreational vehicle, he abducts Jacob and his family to help his brother and him to cross the Mexico border, promising To relieve them on the next morning, they head to the truck drivers and bikers bar Titty Twister, where Ted will meet with his partner Carlos in the dawn.
The day after tomorrow. After climatologist Jack Hull is largely ignored by UN officials when presenting his environmental concerns, his research proves true when an enormous superstorm develops, setting off catastrophic natural disasters throughout the world. Trying to get to his son Sam, who is trapped in New York within his friend Laura and others, Jack and his crew must travel by foot from Philadelphia, braving the elements to get to Sam before it's too late. Tell us in the comments which movies you think should be